Hi, my name is Brian Tittl, and I am a theology, history, and computer science teacher here at Arupe Virtual Learning Institute. I also teach at St. John's Jesuit High School in Toledo, Ohio. And most importantly for this video, I am the Moodle manager for Arupe Virtual Learning Institute. I manage the Moodle system, our learning management system. And so I wanted to kind of show you around and show you some of the things that Moodle has to offer as an LMS. So the first thing, if you are a Moodle school, that you'll notice when you look at our Moodle system is that it probably looks a little bit different from yours. It's got a similar structure to other Moodle builds, but Moodle has a variety of different themes that you can use to kind of change the look of your site. Moodle is incredibly customizable. There are so many different things that you can change and tweak. So if you want to do something with Moodle, it is probably possible to do it. You just need to have somebody who understands your Moodle system and who can make it happen. So I want to show you some basics. These are things that are common between Moodle builds. So they may look just a little bit different on our site because of the way that I've set up our site. But you can kind of see the flow of things when you're working in Moodle. So the first thing to do is we're going to go into a Moodle course page. And so I'm going to show you the course page for my computer game development course. And this is kind of a standard Moodle course page. A typical Moodle course is divided into topics in the main content section. So you can see that for every 2 weeks of my course, I have a separate topic. And then blocks on the right-hand side. Blocks are useful tools that you can use in your course. So for example, I've got a block that includes my picture and a direct email link, the course calendar. I've got a couple of blocks that are specific to me as a teacher. So this block, for example, tells me what items need to be graded. And I've also got a lot of my administration blocks. Now, if I go into one of these topics, it opens up in a separate page, and you can see a lot of links and information presented on this page. And really, these take a couple of different forms. Some of these are simply informational. So for example, I've got a book here that gives a history of video games. And this is a course resource that I've created. Others of these are activities that students can engage in the course. So for example, here is a discussion forum that students can add to talk a little bit about their favorite platformer games. You can also collect assignments on the Moodle page. So for example, here I have an assignment where I'm asking students to write a plot summary for a video game, and they turn in their assignment here on the Moodle page, and then I grade the assignment on the Moodle page. So in order to add something to the page, the first thing that you need to do is find the button that says Turn Editing On. In our case, it's in the gear menu up in the top here. There's a button to turn editing on. In your build, it might be a little bit different, so just look around for it. And then when you click Turn Editing On, you'll see a couple of things. First, next to each item, you'll see an Edit button. And within that Edit button are a number of things that you can do with that item. You can edit the item itself. You can change where the item appears on your page. You can move it left or right, tab in, and do things like that. And you can show and hide items. You can also duplicate items, and you can even create separate roles for your students and assign certain items for certain groups of students if you want to organize a course in that way. Down at the bottom of each section, you'll see a link for adding an activity or resource, and that's how you add new material into your course. When you click that link, a menu will appear with the various things that you can add into your course. Now, most of these are standard Moodle items. Some of these we at Arupe Virtual have added for our own courses. So for example, interactive content with H5P, this is a plugin that your Moodle administrator would have to add. But things like assignments, chat, forums, and glossaries are things that come standard with Moodle. So when you click on one of these things to add a new assignment or a new discussion forum, let's do a forum here, and you click the Add button down in the bottom. It'll bring you to a menu. Now, virtually everything in Moodle is customizable, and once you get really good at Moodle, you can really make your course do whatever you want it to do. But when you go to put something in, whether it be an assignment, a forum, or a page, only the fields that absolutely matter will be shown to you directly. So for example, in this forum, we have a forum name, a description, and a forum type. And that's really all that we see. Now, we have about a dozen submenus that we could use for additional functionality and to tweak various things about the forum. But the only things that we absolutely need to fill out are the forum name, the description, and the forum type. The forum name is what will appear on the main page of the course. The description is the instructions for your students on what they ought to do in this forum. And then the forum type is the type of forum that you're going to use, whether it be a standard forum where students are able to post discussion topics, a single discussion where you post the topic and then the students reply, or a Q&A forum where students reply to a question that you've asked, and once they've replied, they can see the answers from all of the other students in the course. You have a lot of flexibility here on what kind of forum you want to set up. And then if you want to go into kind of the nitty-gritty of things, you can do things like set up ratings to grade your forum so that each post can be rated on a certain point level scale. You can set activity completion where you mark the activity complete by putting a checkbox next to it after students have posted so many posts to the forum. But really the only things that you need are the things that are shown to you directly on the Moodle menu. So the big thing with Moodle, it can be a little bit daunting, especially if you're a new user or if you're a little bit tech averse. If that's the case, then when you open these menus, just look at what they're showing you right now. You know, look at just the basic things that you need to tweak about that particular item, and then go from there. If you want your forum to do something different, it probably can. And hopefully you have someone in your building who's a good resource for your Moodle build and who can show you the more advanced things that this platform can do. Moodle also includes an onboard gradebook, and so you can set up grades and weights, and you can also directly grade all of the various assignments in your gradebook. I'm not going to show you that directly for privacy reasons since this is an active class, but you can enter grades and edit grades, and it does all of the calculation for you. So it can serve actually as a student information system as well as a learning management system if you wanted to do that in your context. I've been using Moodle for about 15 years, and truthfully, this is my favorite LMS. Moodle is complicated, but you can do just about anything with it. It provides a whole lot of different options and a ton of plugins that you can use in order to add more functionality to your site. Moodle is also open source, which means that aside from hosting Moodle on a web server, the use of Moodle is free. And so you can set up your own Moodle build on just a web server that you get from any web hosting provider for free. And as long as you've got someone who can update your server and run your server, it can be a really great solution for a school. You also have complete control over how you manage your Moodle build. So if you want to add new functionality, you can go to the Moodle plugin store and you can search for whatever plugins you like in order to add certain functionalities. Moodle also has a great community as open source software. There are a lot of developers that are working on Moodle plugins and working on other kinds of ways to tweak Moodle. And so if you have a problem or things aren't working quite right for you, you can always go and ask on Moodle.org and talk with the Moodle community and try to find some answers. Moodle also has a lot of reports that you can run to keep track of student engagement and gives you a real insight into how well students are using your online courses. I want to show you a couple of other things before we finish here. One of the most common things that you might want to do on an online course is to add material to your course. And in order to do that on Moodle, you go to add an activity or resource. And under this section for activities, these are the activities, engaged activities that your students do, is a section for resources. And these are static resources like links and files that you might put onto your course for your students. Probably the most useful of these are URL, file, and page. URL just allows you to add links to your site. And as you see here, there are basically three things that you need. You need to put in a name for your links. So for example, I want this to be Google, and we're going to go to www.google.com. If I wanted to, I could include a description of that link, and that could appear on my course page. I don't want to, so I'm going to save and return to course. It wants me to put in HTTP in front of www.google.com. You can also choose a link. So if you have a YouTube video, for example, that you want to search for, you can grab a link for that video. Now when I save and return to course, that link will appear right here with the link symbol next to it. And I can follow it to my resource. Now I can also add information of my own to the course. One of the best ways to do this is by adding a page to your course. And when you add a page, you have two fields that you need to fill in. First, the name for the page. So I'm just going to call this my page. And then the page content. And this is basically a text box that you use just like a Microsoft Word document. You can change your fonts, you can add pictures and media and all sorts of other things in here. But you can basically just develop your content and place it in there. Now I've got a lot of pages already on my course. I'll show you one that's already been created. For example, my syllabus is using a page. You can see that you can include headings and change fonts and do all of that stuff. So that's how you kind of organize the information on your course. And then you sort of use the main course page like a table of contents. And then finally, the last thing is using Moodle to post files for your students. When you do that, you basically just need to drag and drop a file from your computer. So for example, I've got this image. Here's a picture of me. And then save and return to course. When you do that, you'll see the file icon, and you click on that file, and that will appear on your course. Now, of course, I don't want to leave these things here, so I'm going to delete them by clicking on the delete button under edit and removing them.